welcome back to Bintang KJHS, bicara tentang Kesatuan Junior High School. Hi, I'm AZEEZAH SHAKILA, you can call me Zizi, as a host on this time episode. And now we have a special guest.
Hi Zizi. Hi everyone.
Hi, can you introduce us first?
Sure. Hi, my name is Gianina EDELA, or Gia for short. I am actually an alumna of Kesatuan Junior High. I entered 2013 and I exited 2016. I am also an international relations graduate of Gadjah Mada University, and I'm currently working actually in corporate social responsibility. It's so good to be here.
Wow, okay. And then my first question is, what is your business right now?
Right, so as I said, I am currently working. Other than that, I'm still quite involved in a bunch of academic activities, especially in English. Yeah. So currently, I am trying my best to continue working, pursuing something as a researcher, per se. And other than that, I am acting as a coach or a mentor for kids that actually want to be involved in more English competitions. Specifically, if any of you have ever heard, Model United Nations. So you simulate United Nations meetings. Yeah. So a bunch of different activities, for lack of a better word.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And then Kagia, why did you choose Kesatuan Junior High School, not the other junior high school? And what is your experience here on junior high school? And what was your best experience?
Right. So first of all, I also came from Kesatuan Elementary School, right? And I heard that the academics here, in terms of support from the teachers and how involved they are, is on par, if not better, right? And secondly, I felt like Kesatuan Junior High School, as I heard, supports a lot for their students who want to be involved in academic or non-academic activities outside of class.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
So say for instance, I think it's common amongst teachers to be like, hey, the pinnacle of you as a student should be in regards to how you perform in class and how your report cards look like, right? Your extracurricular activities, academic or non-academic, should be put to the side, for the lack of a better word, pursuant of this report card. And the thing is, I felt, and I heard as well, before signing up here, per se, that Kesatuan really does support its students if you do want to pursue other activities. And of course, what ended up is me being in English competitions, you in modeling, and a bunch of other students that I heard do amazing, crazy things that still are supported by Kesatuan. So yeah. The word stays true to the reality, for the lack of a better word.
And from what I heard, you were one of the student council, right?
I was.
Can you tell us the experience you had?
Yeah, so generally, as I was the student council for basically the headla for my extracurricular activity, generally what I do is, of course, manage my own extracurricular activity and then report back to the student council what needs to be done, generally streamlining communication, right? But other than that, I think the fun thing about student council is regardless of what position you take, you still have a role, right? I know there's a hierarchy in the student council, and honestly I wouldn't say that I placed really high, but the thing is I felt really involved in a sense of, as a student council, you have a role in basically doing a market survey, in a sense of what do the students need, right? What kind of activities are they looking for? And we are the ones who communicated with the teachers and other relevant organizers, right? And I feel like Kesatuan Student Council at the time for me was my start in figuring out how to work as a team and how to communicate ideas better, and of course criticizing in a way that is constructive. So yeah, it was a great experience, especially in figuring out how do we better the student experience for students at Kesatuan Junior High at the time.
Wow. And so what was the big achievement that you accomplished during junior high school? Could you tell us the story behind it?
Yeah, so basically, as I mentioned, I was in English competition, right? Specifically storytelling. And there's this big competition called FLS2N, right? If you know, I think it's a big deal amongst people who are involved in the arts. So it's a national level art competition, and I was honored to be able to bring back the third place from the province level, Jawa Barat, obviously, in storytelling. And yeah, it was a big deal for me because at the time, I don't think it was common for like non-public school students to be the ones bringing home awards, right? So it was really a big deal for me. And I think the backdrop to that is definitely the support that Kesatuan gave, right? Because honestly, maybe yeah, I have ideas that are out there, but at the same time, I think a lot of like the ideas that I gave out or like presented per se was because of the support and comments that the teachers gave. And honestly, they didn't have to do that, right? You could just comment, but instead they gave me so much time to help me, and I was like really, I felt really supported, and I felt
That's
like
good.
yeah, exactly. And the thing is, I continued doing the same, right, in senior high, and I genuinely like look back and think like, damn, I don't feel as supported as I was now at Kesatuan, you know, like genuinely something to look back on. Just like for instance, several people that helped me was Mem Sari.
Yeah.
Pak Topo actually also helped me. He made me a guitar number.
Wow.
For like yeah, right? He made me a guitar number for the opening of my
good.
storytelling. No, it was amazing. It was amazing. And like Ma'am Sari also like provided me so many comments for things that I didn't even think about. So yeah, I couldn't have gotten that win without them. And of course, it all goes back to like how much support that Kesatuan gave to me non-academically, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Good times.
And so do you have a favorite place here on Kesatuan?
Right, so I have two. Okay, so my favorite place, the library. Big nerd. Love the book section. Love the book section so much. Guys, if you like fiction books, Kesatuan's the place. Also, nice chairs. So, other than that, I like to hang out near the studio at the time. So Kesatuan actually has like a studio with like a bunch of band equipment, and choir kids also sometimes practice there, especially if you're like coordinating with like people who do play instruments, right? Sometimes we do involve them. So it's just nice to like hang out outside the studio with like a bunch of choir kids like during break.
That's fun.
Yeah,
That's
those are
actually
like
so
my
fun.
two general activities, yeah.
Okay, so you say that you like to go to the library. So what books do you like to read there?
I am big on fantasy or anything dystopian. Think like Percy Jackson / Heroes of Olympus.
Wow.
Also, Hunger Games, obviously. So if you're like looking for like fiction books, honestly, I would say Kesatuan Junior High has a good selection of fiction. Not all academic, you know? Yeah.
Okay, so Kaguya, as a very inspiring person,
All good.
can you give us some tips for us junior high school students? Like how to manage your time to study and do your hobby to achieve your goals.
Right. Okay. So first of all, I actually talked to Zizi about this, guys.
What
so
is it?
Zizi was like, I have been in modern dance for 3 years. I am in
Yeah.
Kesatuan, and I think that's great because I had a period of time that I had to figure myself out. Right. I feel like I signed up for like a lot of things when I was a 7th grader, right, or the first year in junior high. And what happened was I was really bad at managing my time. And I felt like I just wanted to try everything out, right? I don't know what my thing is, right? Or my niche or like my passion. And it was only when I was like in grade 8 and grade 9 that I figured that out for myself. So I think the thing that I want to highlight, especially for junior high, is that this is the time for you to explore yourself and figure out what your niche is or what your specific thing is, right? Because the thing is, when you enter senior high, generally, it's a developed version of that, you know? Like say for instance, I started off in storytelling. What happened was after that, I became a debate kid. I was involved in speech and a bunch of other like English-based competitions because again, I already developed that niche. And so given that Kesatuan does have like a lot of extracurricular activities, I generally think that this is the time for you to figure out what you're actually into. Don't just do things for like the fear of missing out or for you to hang out with your friends. Do it for like your benefits for the future, especially as I mentioned again. How does this help you in pursuing other things in the future, right? So make sure that you're actually into the things that you plan to be involved in, right? Extracurricular wise. There was a second half to your question. Can you like read it again? I'm so sorry.
Oh, so like how can you manage your time to study and do your hobby to achieve your goals?
Right. So generally, as I said, don't be involved in anything. Be involved in things that you actually want to be involved in, obviously.
Hear that out. Hear that out.
kindly. But anyway, the second thing is I think we need to not see studying as a chore, right? And I know that's so hard, right? The thing is, you know how like your parents give you like a maximum amount of like hours on the phone, for instance? I think you can do the same for studying, right? In a sense of like, you don't have to think of yourself as like a student and therefore you have to continuously study. Pace yourself, right? You should like have quotas on like how much is it can I consume per day in terms of like information, because ultimately you do need a break, right? Nobody's like shaming you for like engaging in games or watching Mr. Beast. I don't know, okay? Nobody cares, right? Okay, you do you to take a break, but at the end of the day you need to make sure that the break that you take helps you in being productive in terms of studying, right? So I think we need to not see studying as just like a constant per se. It's something that you can like pace yourself. And I think what helps me especially is to remember that what matters is I study, right? Whether or not I actually feel like I did better, or say I am more informed or I feel smarter is a whole other thing. I think developing the habit of studying is where you should start, right? And ultimately, you need to remember that it is not always the result. It's a process, right?
Ooh.
So what matters is you pace yourself in studying and don't hate yourself too much if you don't feel like you accomplished enough that day. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a really good tips.
Deconstruct
Applause,
studying, guys.
applause.
Deconstruct studying.
Okay,
Anyway.
so this is my last question. What message do you want to say to the student of Kesatuan Junior High School? Like, as we know, right now, students prioritize to play games instead of studying. Like, they have the test, but they still play games instead.
Yeah, okay. First of all, guys, you will be very sad when you grow up and you look back into like how you did or like how you manage your time, right? I don't mean to like make you guys feel scared about the future or like be regretful of the present, but what I will say is you need to think about studying as like investing in yourself, you know, in a sense of like, you know how you exercise and you think this is for my own good, right?
Yeah.
The same thing as studying. You need to remember that you are studying for something, right? You're gonna do big things later, and that's something that you need to remember. And of course, as I said, Kaya, there's nothing wrong with not studying. It's just that you need to make sure that your breaks are proportional with like the amount of rest that you need to be productive, right? And my last words per se for the students here and future students, I hope you guys enroll here, is that this place is great, guys. In a sense of genuinely, I feel like the teachers are so involved in your life, not in a bad or intrusive way. Yeah, I genuinely felt like at the time they really did upkeep with like my progress and the things that I note, and they really do try to be present in terms of like your academic development. And as I mentioned as well, there's so much extracurricular activities and there are so much possibilities outside of class for you to do and for you to pursue. And generally, honestly, if you sign up, I feel like there will be someone who will be supporting you amongst like the teacher group, you know? So this is generally the time for you to explore yourself while Kesatuan facilitates you, because I can't promise that the same privileges or the same benefits per se will be granted in a higher level of education, granted, because again, this is SMP or like junior high. Of course, you're in discovery. You're going to be expected to grow up, right? So this is the time for you to like genuinely milk the support that is given for you, for the lack of a better word.
So guys, remember those
Manage your
messages from
time well.
Kagiya. Yes.
Manage your time.
Okay, so thank you so much, Kagiya.
It's been a pleasure. Honestly, it's so fun.
And that's it from us. See you on another podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bintang Podcast. Wow.
Bintang Podcast.
Yay! That was so great. That was so great. Right? It was so easy.